Yes, I really did that. I had to. You guys know I had to. Is this gonna be my thumbnail? Hello friends, how are you guys doing today? I hope that you're all having an amazing day today. My name is Crystal. I'm a brand new Star Wars channel, and this is where we just come to hang out and talk about Star Wars, and we have a good time. If you're into Star Wars, I suggest subscribing. Today we're talking about The Mandalorian Chapter 12, The Siege. We have a lot to talk about, so we're going to get right into the episode recap, and then we're going to talk about theories, predictions, and my final thoughts. This episode begins with some of my favorite Baby Yoda moments. We have a very relatable moment between Din and Baby Yoda, and he is just trying to get Baby Yoda to help fix the ship. The ship is just to shreds, they say. And his wife? To shreds. Din is trying to convince Baby Yoda how to reconnect wires, and it is such a cute moment. I feel like I've been in both of those situations. Next we have Din and Baby Yoda deciding to go back to Nevarro 7 to fix their ship and see some old friends. The scene is really cute because it's Din and Baby Yoda drinking their little bone broth together, and Baby Yoda keeps trying to peek at Din, and it is really adorable. Our reintroduction to Cara Dune brings us back to the tunnels of Nevarro 7. So Cara Dune ends up taking on a group of Aqualish, and Aqualish are these scary looking spider aliens, and I'm triggered again. The Aqualish refer to her as the Marshal, and we get to see Cara Dune really be a badass here, and I love that they utilized her MMA fighting. I love seeing her kick ass. So Din and Baby Yoda meet up with Cara Dune and Grieff Carga, and Grieff Carga is absolutely smitten with the child. He just loves Baby Yoda, and same, hard same. We then find out that Marshal Dune is Nevarro 7, or I guess cleaning it up. I mean, they made the cantina into a school, like that's literally gentrification, but you know. Grieff Carga says to leave Baby Yoda at the school while they talk about business, and I just have to say that the kids are so mean. Kids are so cruel. Like, they immediately start whispering and talking about Baby Yoda, and it just like hurts my heart. This poor little alien baby, I just feel for him so much, and I know Din feels for him so much because he keeps looking back and doesn't want to leave the child. I love seeing Din be concerned over the child. Like, I love that. Give me more of that. So cool little Easter egg within this scene is there's a protocol droid very similar to our C-3PO, and this protocol droid is asking about different trade routes, and we hear the protocol droid name off a few of the famous trade routes, but I'm not gonna go into it. And then we get this adorable moment where Baby Yoda wants to eat some blue macarons, and it is so cute because he's like, give me, give me, give me, and the kid is like, no. So we see Baby Yoda use the Force and grabs the blue macaron. And I just want to point out that we get Baby Yoda's theme song here, and I love his little theme song. I think it fits him so perfectly. So Grieff and Cara describe what's been going on Nevarro 7, and their plan is to take out an Imperial base, an abandoned Imperial base, and they need Din's help because Din just does a little bit of everything at this point. Grieff Carga wants to take the weapons, and he wants to turn Nevarro 7 into a trading anchor for the entire sector. So he basically wants to put Nevarro 7 on the map for trading weapons, and he is part of the Bounty Hunters Guild. And Cara Dune sees this as an opportunity to help clear out some imps. We see the Mythrol from season 1, and it's really funny seeing Din mess with him. The Mythrol says he still has some side effects from the carbon sickness, and it's a reference to Return of the Jedi and Clone Wars, the TV show, in the Citadel arc, where they talk about carbonite sickness. So the plan is to go to the Imperial base and take down the cooling system. The base will overheat. You know, it's sitting on a lava bed. It needs these crazy coolers. The whole thing is gonna explode. And then, you guys, we get to the lab. So one, we see a bunch of clone vats, and it's very suspicious. One of them looks like Snoke. I know a lot of people are going back and forth on this. Personally, I think it looks like Snoke. That was my first reaction, with the big head, the scar. It could be like an early version of Snoke, you know? I think, anyways, we'll get into that. And then we do get a confirmation that they are doing clone experimentation, but it's been unsuccessful. We find out that they're using Baby Yoda for his high M count being the midichlorian count. There's a lot going on there. We'll talk about that later. The thing with trying to make Force-sensitive clones, it's been done in Legends, and it's very unstable, it's very unsafe, and it's usually not successful. The clone bodies usually end up dying pretty quickly. Cloning and trying to put the Force into clones, it doesn't work, as we see in the sequels. Find out that they were taking blood from Baby Yoda. I know originally when this came out last year, everyone was thinking maybe they were trying to clone Baby Yoda, but now we're finding out that they're taking his blood and they're trying to put it into these clones to make these clones Force sensitive, which is honestly more horrific, I feel like. Like, they were taking blood from this poor little child, like, and in the transmission we find out that they've ran out of Baby Yoda's blood, and the only way they can continue experimenting is to find Baby Yoda and take his blood. It's implied that they need more blood, meaning it would... And as we're seeing this happen, Grieff Carga looks at Din, and this is the moment where Din turns into Dad. Like, Din is Daddy Din at this point, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, you guys, I'm so embarrassing. I feel like even though Din's face is covered, like, we know exactly what he's feeling. Like, we feel that pit in our stomach, too. And then, finally, we learn that Moff Gideon is still alive. I mean, we knew, but Din didn't know, and I don't know, I was kind of, like, amused at this. Like, I thought that it was entertaining that Din didn't know that Moff Gideon wasn't, or was alive. I don't know why I thought that was funny. The gang splits up and Daddy Din rushes off to get Baby Yoda. Like, that is his #1 priority. They need to get off of Navarro ASAP. Like, things just got real at this point. The stakes just got raised. We get a really cool chase scene with Cara Dune. She drives an armored tank thing straight off a cliff. And it is so funny because some of the stormtroopers chase after her and they jump off the cliff to follow, and I love that some of them just like instantly blow up. And I love Cara Dune in this moment because everyone else is screaming and she has the biggest smile on her face, like she's ready for it. And then we get some TIE fighters that come in real quick, and it's this crazy scene, and the Razor Crest comes in at the very last minute, saves them, and we get this really cool like air fight happening in the air, and I don't know what I'm doing. And I love that they're playing homage to the original trilogy with their explosions and the effects. The combination of their like practical effects and their visual effects it's so cool. Like, I love what Star Wars is doing right now. So it's really funny because as Din is like diving and shooting at all these Imperial officers in their airplanes, Baby Yoda is just like living his best life, you know, he's just having so much fun, and then he throws up. And then Daddy Din comes in and does his dad thing. We love to see it. And then Din and Baby Yoda are on their way to find Ahsoka. Find out that the mechanic working on his ship earlier planted a tracking beacon on the Razor Crest, and I feel like everyone checks if they have a tracking beacon. I don't know why Din's not checking. I feel like he's kind of slipping up ever since he became a dad, but you know. Our next scene is Grieff Carga being an absolute homie and telling the New Republic officer that he hasn't seen any Razor Crest, and he never mentioned a Razor Crest. Get a friend like Grieff. So we find out that Cara Dune's from Alderaan and she lost everything. I think she should have said everything. Instead of I lost everything, she should have said everything. It reminded me of that moment from Rey in Force Awakens. There's this moment where I was rewatching Force Awakens and I literally started crying because she was just like, you guys know the moment I'm talking about, right? Our ending scene is with Moff Gideon, and Moff Gideon is looking at like these figures on either side of the room of him. He's kind of like being very ominous, and it is theorized that they're Dark Troopers, right? Dark Troopers. So Dark Troopers are like these humanoid, they're heavily armed, skilled battle droids. And then that's the end of the episode. Crazy, I know. I think that with The Mandalorian, it is adding more depth to the Star Wars movies, just like what Clone Wars and Rebels did. I think that's really cool that The Mandalorian is trying to do that. So we're getting so many different story threads in the season with Boba Fett, Bo-Katan. We're on our way to find Ahsoka Tano. Now there's cloning happening. It's nuts. It's so nuts. And I think in the last few episodes that we're gonna get here, I hope that we find a resolve. I hope that nothing bad happens. It's rumored that Dave Filoni wrote and directed the next episode, and the rumor is it is called The Jedi. And it's unclear if it's referring to one Jedi or multiple Jedi. Is Ezra Bridger gonna show up? Is Raul gonna show up? So if Dave Filoni did write and direct this next episode, it only makes sense for Ahsoka to show up. And the thing is, if Ahsoka shows up, we're gonna get a lightsaber fight. I mean, Ahsoka is gonna show up. We know that Ahsoka is gonna show up. Giancarlo Esposito said that we're gonna get a lightsaber fight, and I think that's gonna be between him and Ahsoka Tano. And I think that's gonna be the climax, because they dropped Ahsoka Tano so casually in the last episode that there has to be more to it, because they wouldn't just drop a bombshell like that. They could have pulled a Baby Yoda, and they didn't. So I think that they still have something up their sleeve with Ahsoka. I'm just nervous because I have a feeling that Moff Gideon is gonna follow Din and Baby Yoda to Ahsoka. They're gonna show up with the Dark Troopers. There's gonna be a huge fight, or like a face-off, and I think that they're gonna get Baby Yoda, and then the next few episodes, or even season 3, will be Din trying to get Baby Yoda back. And I just hope that we can wrap up season 2 with as little heartbreak as possible. I'm so nervous, you guys. I'm so nervous with what they're gonna do to Ahsoka. God, there's just so much going on in my brain. I think it'll be really interesting to see Ahsoka interact with Baby Yoda. Because Ahsoka knows Yoda. Ahsoka's been alone forever. Like, the tragedy of Ahsoka is just, like, insane to me. Hold on, I'll be right back. I don't know if I've talked about it on my channel yet, but I'm reading the Ahsoka book right now. It really talks about how she is just, like, living through exile, and it is just so tragic. Like, Ahsoka's story is very tragic. I feel for Ahsoka so much. She's one of my favorite characters. And it just sucks because she has just been alone for so long. Hoping when we find her on this planet, like, I just don't want to be sad for her. Like, I just want a happy ending for Ahsoka. I really want that for her, and I want that for Rex. What do you guys think is going to happen in the next episode? I want to hear from you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope that you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you later. This is the way. It's supposed to just be like milk flavor. Honestly, I literally got it just so I could experience what Baby Yoda was experiencing. I sound so stupid and I'm really shiny. Let me put on some towels. Anyways, Aaron and I shot a really fun video. It'll be on his YouTube channel. It's a food vlog, a food channel. So if you guys want to check that out, I am in it and we talk about food and we're eating. It's a fun time, but I had to get a macaroon. I had to.